Hey guys, so I just put out a call for questions on both my Instagram stories, and on my Twitter, asking if you have any jiu-jitsu questions, because Richie was kind enough to come down here. We're going to do some filming. And the one question that came up a fair number of times was about passing half guard. It seems that people have a lot of difficulty passing half guard, and it is a legitimate problem. I mean, Richie's half guard is an offensive position for him. I remember back in the day, half guard was kind of halfway to you being completely screwed. Now it's much more equal because he's got many more options to develop for the bottom guy. So now it's much more 50-50. I've got some options, he's got some options. And if his only goal is to hold me in half guard and like stall it to the end of the match, it can be tough. So probably one of the most common, certainly one of the most common passes is the knee cut. So conceptually, my leg is between Richie's legs, one of them. I'm going to bring it forward so the knee clears his leg line. My knee is free. And then I'm going to turn it sideways here and scoot it this way. Now, obviously, that's not a knee cut. If I did that, he'd take my back instantly. But even if I'm not controlling his body here, even if I'm just doing this, if he knows what he's doing, he's going to turn in for sure. He's going to take my leg in a kind of a low single position, or he's going to take my back, right? I did not win the battle. I did not win the war. So, at the same time as bringing my leg through here, I need to keep him flat on the ground. There are a whole bunch of different ways to keep him flat on the ground. The two most common are either with a lapel grip or with an underhook. The underhook works gi and no gi. The collar grip, lapel grip works obviously only with the gi. So if my leg is somewhat loose and if I'm kind of standing and I can secure the lapel grip here, the collar grip, and the hand grip, now it's really tough for him to turn in towards me. If he turns in towards me, I can drive his face this way with my forearm. And this is a big part of the game. When you're going against somebody who's really good at knee cutting off this lapel drag, this face is getting ground, and this hand is up in the air. The reason this hand is up in the air, if I let go of that hand, he can bring his elbow underneath him and start coming up, even if I have this. So, I got the collar and the sleeve grip, and I drive my knee through, kind of putting my weight on his solar plex, and then I start cutting it sideways here while elevating. Turn a bit here, please, Richard. As you can see, he's going to clamp down on this leg. That's not a reason to panic. He's kind of got a quarter guard position, but this is so disruptive to him that he's thinking about this. He's not going to be able to defend this too well. I try and bring my hips as low as I can to the ground. Then I use this foot. I can push the bottom leg. I can push the top leg. And my weight is on this side of his body, so if he tries to roll me, I can immediately drop my hips down to the ground. To roll me, he probably has to open his legs. The exact same pass can be done without the gi. Well, it's essentially this exact same pass. But this time, I can't be elevating this side to keep him down. I'm going to be pinning this side to keep him down. I'm going to be doing that with the underhook. So you see two guys in the half guard. I fight for the underhook. He fights for the underhook. I fight for the underhook. He fights for the underhook. And there's a really big advantage to the person who has the underhook. If I have the underhook here, and now it's hard for him to bring that arm in, I can bring my hand under his head, drive him here, clasp my hands, make him look that way. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking, I'm going to make him look this way. If I'm making him look this way, it's really hard for him to turn in towards me. Now I've got to free this leg. See how my knee is here? It's not past his leg line. So there are a number of ways to free that leg. Sometimes just shaking it. Sometimes he's going to work for some kind of attack from there and going to give me the opening. Sometimes I have to bring in my other leg. Or here, if he's got a tight clasp on this leg here, I still have this leg free. So I'm going to bring that instep up on top of his knee and start forcing it open. I might raise my hips a bit and then sag them to the side. If he keeps a grip on my ankle, I can kick it free. So conceptually it's a two-part battle, maybe a three-part battle. Number one, establish the grips that you need to keep them flat. Number 2, bring your knee past his leg line. Number 3, cut to the side and do whatever other work you need to do to free your foot from between his legs. This works at the high level. There's many players. This is their main guard pass. They're here, they're in the open guard of a good player. They dive into the half guard, and then they work on passing the half guard, more or less. All right, because you've watched this long, I've got 2 more special things for you. I've been told that people don't watch to the end of YouTube videos. I think they're wrong, so I'm putting these 2 Easter eggs here at the end. So, something that often confuses people is what side of the body does my head go on? When I'm doing this style of guard passing, half guard, my head is going on the side of the underhook. My underhook is on Richie's left side, my head is on Richie's left side. But with the gi, you can do a different variation. You can hook this lapel really tight and then put your head on the ground here. This typically does not work no gi. At least if it does work no gi, I've not managed to find a way to make it work. When I hook here, I put my head on the ground. This really allows me to pike up very high, and then I can alternate between pulling his hand, pushing his leg, pulling his hand, pushing his leg. It's much harder for him to get his arm underneath him when my head is here, so I don't have to be as worried about elevating this all the time. So I pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, then I cut. So, with the gi, my head can go on either side. Without the gi, my head goes on the far side. So what I've been talking about so far is getting the right underhook and cutting my right knee when my right leg is trapped. So right underhook, and one way or the other, I'm going to escape that leg. You can also do the opposite. And this is a more advanced move. You need a little bit more room. You need commitment. But man, when you hit it on somebody, they feel pretty stupid. So I'm going to take my left hand and get the same side underhook. Then I'm going to lift my hips up a little bit, and I'm going to shoot my left leg across here. My right leg is still trapped. But in cutting across there, it frees that leg. So once again, if we trap this side leg, please. So my left leg is trapped. I get my right underhook. If I control the gi, that's even better. And then if there's enough room here between Richie's hips and my hips, I might need to back up a little bit. I'm going to bring my knee across his belly, close the distance here, and cut. That's something you need to play with. That isn't what this technique is about today, but it's a concept that can be really useful in the right moment. So hopefully that gives you some insights on how to pass a half guard. It's a really common guard pass. You have to have some version of it in your arsenal, or you're really just playing with, you're not playing with a full deck when you're fighting somebody who's using a half guard on you.